Hey guys, what's going on? Michael White here, your favorite developer, and today we're going to be talking about the biggest problem that I've faced so far as a junior developer and what I'm doing to fix it. So I've been a web developer now for about 4 months, give or take a couple weeks here and there. And the biggest problem that I've faced so far, it's not imposter syndrome, it's not feeling overwhelmed. It's actually something that can be considered the biggest blessing of being a junior developer, right? It's growth. So if you look at my first project, there is a massive gap of knowledge between the first half of the project and the last half of the project. I didn't know much at the start of that project, but by the end of it, I knew so many better ways of doing things either more optimally, more efficiently, cleaner, whatever it is, it was just better. It was executed better, right? So if you look at the first half of my code and the last half, it's literally like looking at code from two different people. Right? It's crazy. It's wild. And that growth is good. It's a good thing. If you're having that kind of growth in your project, it's great. But once you find that better way of doing things halfway through your project, you're going to have to go back and fix it, right? Earlier on when you did it less optimally. And when I fix things, it causes this cascading destructive effect down the page, right? Whether it be me fixing a script, whether it be me changing some CSS or a class somewhere, whatever it is, it will cause like this just destruction down the page. And I know that's a result of my code being coupled too closely together. But regardless, it's one of the most irritating things in the world. You find a better way of doing something, you implement it, and then it causes just hours of work to go back and fix all the things that it broke on the page, right? At least that's how it is for me. And if this is like a personal project, it's not a big deal. You know, you just go through and you fix it. It takes time. Oh, well. But when you're working for a client, there are deadlines, right? Like things have to be done in a certain amount of time. And when you break a lot of stuff like this because your code's coupled closely together, it takes time to go in there and fix it. And that sucks. So then you're faced with this decision of whether or not to leave your code how it is, like kind of split in two parts, or do you go back and clean everything up and keep your code consistent? Which the person coming into that code behind you would greatly appreciate, right? But that's the big problem I've been running into lately. It's a tough one. So now you might be asking, well, Michael, what are you going to do about it? To which I say this: automation and consistency. So recently I've been dabbling in automation with Node. I created a script that would go into each file directory, find the images, compress the images, and convert them to WebP if you want, right? It also makes a backup and tucks them away in case the client's not happy with the compressed image quality. Sounds more complicated than it is. It's pretty simple to make, but it's something I've been wanting to make for a long time for optimizing images. It's so cool to be able just to compress every image on a site with just one click of a button. They're all compressed, they're all optimized, and you can convert them to WebP if you want. But I'll go more in depth with that in my next video. But I'm looking for ways to automate this process, right? If I discover a new way of doing things, what can I do to automatically apply these changes, right? So I've been thinking with that approach. I'm also going to start creating my own CSS library, right? Now that I've worked on a couple of projects, I see the things that designers are looking for. Like the designers I work with, they want things to be like pixel perfect. Bootstrap can't offer that. Bootstrap can get close, but it's never going to be pixel perfect. So I'm going to start my own CSS library. It's not going to be anything wild. It's just going to be with all the things that the designers like to keep consistent, right? And things that I like to do myself to keep consistency on the page. I'm going to go through, I'm going to give all those class names and just give variables for the values. And then I'm going to use JavaScript to be able to type in the values I want for those classes and then just apply them to the CSS, right? So whenever I start a new project, all I got to do is open that script up, plug in the numbers, and boom, it's going to fill out everything. Or if halfway through the project they decide they want to change, the spacing somewhere, the padding, the margin, the font, whatever it is they want to change, instead of having to go into the CSS and changing it there, which sometimes I accidentally delete too much and break stuff, I'll be able just to swap it out in my script, have it be applied, and call it a day. Now, I know the scripting portion of that may seem like an extra step, but I got a long-term goal with this. So I'm going to make sure that I can write the classes in Node, right? I got a vision here. I got to work towards that. But ideally, the goal is to turn everything into a Lego block. I mean, Bootstrap already kind of does that, but I want to make them my own Lego blocks, right? So that way, when I need to swap anything out or change anything, is just swapping out a simple piece that's not going to break everything else. The only way to truly learn how to write clean code is to write some messy code that breaks everything. I'm able to see now the how to apply like clean code to your project. So I'm going to be working on this library. Hopefully I'll have it done by the end of the year. If you guys are interested to see the sites I've been working on, I'm also going to be updating my portfolio sometime next month. I'm not looking for a new job or anything. I just want to be able to present what I know, at the time, and just kind of track my growth like that. I'm just going to make a new portfolio. I'll keep my old one for laughs. Probably post it on GitHub or something. But that's the direction we're going. And I know Bootstrap and Tailwind exists, but I want to make my own library. Like, this is something that I want to build for me. So I'm excited about it. If you guys are interested in joining an awesome coding community, do join my Discord. I'll have a link to that down below. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.